I'm your boogeyman, that's what I am. I'm here to do whatever I can. Be it early morning, late afternoon, or at midnight.
What's up, everybody? This is our first ever episode of Fire and Ice. You know me, I'm Brian McCarthy, aka Ice, and right above me right here, we got the coach. We got Fire. We are super excited to come to you. We got plenty of good guests coming on. We got some hot topics, and James, aka Coach, I saw you on Sports Illustrated. What's the deal with that? We're coming in hot. First segment coming in hot. What do we got, Coach?
Yeah, so today was another day. You score when you go viral. You just kind of score a touchdown real quick. You hand the ball to the referee right away, and you act like you've been there before. That's kind of the way I do it. A lot of people call me clowns online right now, but I've heard it all. I mean, the past 5 years I've been doing this. People hate you, they love you, but if they're listening, you know you matter. So at the end of the day, I don't want to be that guy coming in like this, but another W. The MLB is pissing me off right now. It's the MLB Players Association. They're honestly a bunch of crooks. They really are. And I have my Tony Kornheiser notes. The first one says, sue me if I want baseball. Because I said today on Twitter.com and on the Sports Chill, at the Sports Chill, which went a little viral, I said, Farah, who I'm wearing his jersey today, and Joe D, and other guys went to war for us. And, we have these guys that don't want to play baseball, these millionaires who are going to take a dramatic pay cut, but what's supposed to happen? I don't want to sit here and defend the owners because that's not something I want to do. I'm just talking about the guys coming after Rob Manfred right now. But the owners, still, what are they going to – they're going to have to pay for a location to put all the players up. They're going to have to do all this stuff. And, right now, it doesn't really make sense to me while people are coming back at me like, oh, this guy, what's this guy doing? If you don't want to play baseball, don't play baseball. Simple as that. What's better to see, the KBO or your team from your city repping it that way? I mean, and at the end of the day, both sides suck. I'm not sitting here and saying like, oh man, the owners are killing it right now. So that's really what it is right now. We have, 5 weeks till July 4th? And the 80% was a lot to ask for, an 80% pay cut. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to play, just don't play. We'll get guys from AA, from AAA to be in your place to get the job done.
James, have you ever seen The Replacements?
Yes, love that movie.
What did Shane Falco come in and do? He did the job. He did the job. He got the cheerleader, he got the girlfriend, and he got W's. And that's what we're about over here. We want people that want to be out there. That's what I always say. These guys are worried about money. If it is honestly a health concern, then that's a whole different story.
Right.
We want to make sure that these people are safe and healthy for their families. But if it is just about the money, why don't they think back to the younger – what were they playing for? Were they playing to make the major leagues when they were in third grade? When you were in Little League, were you playing for the love of the game? When Coach was coaching, Coach?
Yeah. 14-year-old James Randazzo almost smacked the kid off the team in the World Series because he said we're not going to win the game. Honestly, obviously I can't play. I probably have a 64-mile-an-hour fastball, but there are guys that I know personally in the minor leagues that would jump at this at an instant. I know guys that literally texted me today saying I would play in a heartbeat. So now we're going to sit here and say, oh, this guy's a clown, whatever.
Get out of my face with that.
Get out of my face. Get in my face. You're just – listen. And also there are these burners accounts out there because competition is everywhere. Nobody wants to see – other Yankee fan pages, they don't want to see me succeed. Some do. Some people just want to be like, oh, but, maybe they're seeing me as competition now. I tore down the stadium in October. You know what I mean? Like, I'll sit here and brag. I have no problem doing it. Yeah, maybe I was taking pictures at Yankee Stadium after all that went down with people. You know what I mean? And now maybe these internet trolls and these internet gangsters are out there and they're like, oh, what are we going to do with this guy? We're just going to just bog him with burner accounts. So at the end of the day, say what you want to say. That love me or hate me, I ain't going away.
Coach, tell them to elevate their game. Get on your level. That's what it all comes down to. There's two types of people, you know? There's people that are in the game, you, and then there's people that just hate from the crowd, which is not us. We're in the game. We're playing. We're mixing it up.
Listen, my focus is so much on my team that I'm not worried about anybody else. Because if you ain't with the sports chill, you're a nobody to me. And if you don't, like, that's really what it is. And that's not saying that I don't respect every single fan, because I reach out to every single person and I try to comment on every single thing from everyone. And but like these other bloggers coming after me, like there's a guy named Fuzzy. Come on, baby. Come on, Fuzzy. Where are you? 180,000 followers? You think I care? No idea who you are. Never heard of you. Don't care. Literally could care less. And I will address this right here too. There's other places that are quote unquote your competitors. Game respects game. If you can tip your cat, respect someone, game respects game. There are people that you are supposed to respect. I'll give a name. Shout out Keith McPherson. Really good dude, truthfully. But there are other people on that same team that I don't like. So this isn't a shot for shot type of game that I'm trying to do. I'm focused on my team and my team only. Because if you ain't repping the fire, who really are you at the end of the day?
So, Coach, I know you like to be humble, but this is our first episode of Fire and Ice. So I want to let some people know. Coach and I have very strong relationships with the most important people on planet Earth, to be honest. When something goes on, we're the first people to hear about it. You see Woj bombs on Twitter, I'm the one sending the information to Woj. Rob Manfred, a lot of people know him, commissioner of Major League Baseball. Do I play on his tennis court? Yeah. Does James know him personally? Yeah. So we're going to give you the latest news. But, Coach, what is your gut feeling for Major League Baseball moving forward? What's going to happen?
Okay, so Trevor Bauer said July 14th. I said July 4th. Here's the thing. I'm looking at it July 11th. That's my mother. Her birthday, 7/11. We're going to see it a week after July 4th. But, yeah, it's going to happen 7/11. Definitely going to happen. But on July 4th, I said, on July 4th, if there's no baseball, then I will drop a mixtape. So look forward to it. And Marta, shout out MG, she's going to be dyeing their hair. So I'm ready to go. I'm not – and also, we didn't even throw this wrench into it. If there's no baseball this season, I have to keep this mustache. This mustache stays until there's baseball. So, I need replacements right now. Because if I keep this for another year, I'm going to turn into Super Mario.
The Italian stallion himself, Coach.
All right, let's go into our next segment. This one's called Breaking the Ice. Icey, take it away.
So thanks, Coach. It's time for Breaking the Ice. This is honestly going to be my favorite part of our weekly podcast. This is our dating portion. Everyone has to deal with it. It's one of those things that everyone can identify with dating because basically everyone's either out there or they're trying to get themselves out there. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, Coach, just so we see, what your dating life is like. And then, I'll put in my 2 cents about what I think. So, Coach, you're out at the bar. What's your opener? What do you open with? What have you had success with?
I am not great with women first, right off the bat. There has to be an at least hour conversation between me and some woman before they will trust me.
How does the conversation start, though? That's what I'm saying.
Usually it's dance. Well, it starts at the dance floor. You know, you see the vibe, you catch the vibe, you go over there, you talk to them a little bit, ask some very simple questions like, you want to drink, like great dance moves, something very simple. You don't really have to. You listen. Girls love women love compliments. So at the end of the day, like, I think that that's the best route to go. You never go wrong with the compliment right off the bat. You want to get cheeky. I don't get cheeky that often. I'm not pretty enough to get that cheeky.
So, Coach, when you are coming with these openers, and you're complimenting them on their dance moves, are you like stationary, or is it like this? Like, hey, I love your moves. Like, are you?
No, I definitely don't do the Chris Kattan from Night at the Roxbury. I will say probably my best part is you get me on the bar. I'm sitting on the bar, I'm chilling, have a Bud Heavy or Jack and Ginger, just sitting there watching sports. The energy, they gravitate to you because, again, this is going to be the humble episode now that I didn't really hand the ball to the referee on this episode. I did out in the other world. Like, I was just like, yeah, like, good stuff, like, another day, whatever. People love me, people hate me, but the electricity comes right to me when I'm in a sports bar screaming about something. I mean, everybody, I'll admit it right now. I'm a crazy person. Like, no, I'm not crazy. Actually, this is a great quote I have. I may be crazy, but I did not drive myself. So, it is what it is at this point.
And we call that the sweet spot. That's where you feel most at home. So yours is, you're on the bar stool, there's sports playing. Mine might be, when Sean Paul comes on, hit the dance floor a bit, get the shoulders working, something like that. That's when I'm most dangerous. And,
and you're tall. You're tall too. So the dance game, listen, the dance and dating game for you is different than it is for me. I have to play to every strength that I can. I'm not a tall man. I mean, you got height, you got heart, you're in the game. Heart is all I have. I don't have the height. And I mean, I'm currently rocking a mustache, so at the end of the day, you have to play to your strengths. You're going right to the dance floor, obviously.
It's honestly all about playing to our strengths. And, during Breaking the Ice, we're going to get way more into, the intricate parts of dating and more than just the approach. But, Coach, one last question on today's episode. What are some of your indicators of interest? What do you look for that the girl is doing that you feel like, okay, I'm in this game right now? Like,
I really think when it comes down to it, it's all about a feel. It's all about those listen, I love all women of all sizes, of all cultures, but it's all about that eye. You hit that eye, that side eye, something that really just gravitates. I do it off a feel, really do it off a feel, because, I love all different types of women. And, I don't know. My best piece of advice for anybody getting into the game that's afraid to go out there is literally just be yourself. That's all you can possibly do, is be yourself. Because at the end of the day, if those people don't like you for who you are, then they ain't meant for you. All right?
Tell them to get the out of here.
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to be coming with way more on Breaking the Ice. All right. We are extremely lucky to have this guest on our first ever episode of Fire and Ice podcast. He's a national champion. He's a MAC champion. He's a philanthropist. Honestly, he's the most interesting man in the world. You've probably seen him on NBC. You might have heard him on Scott Van Pelt's podcast the other day. And James Randazzo came to me and he said, is there any way you can get this guy for the first episode? I said, I'll do my best. We need to come in with a bang. So here he is, welcoming Jimmy Patsos to Fire and Ice. Thanks for coming, Jimmy.
Icey, I'd do anything for you. I already like this guy, James. Got the Yankees in the background. We're talking Belmont. We got the horse racing world coming back to us. We're ready to go. We got to beat this pandemic. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we wanted to start off with that, Jimmy. So how's everything with you and the family? First off, I just wanted to make sure everything was
staying safe. It's the world of basketball slowed down, because in other words, working, whether it's for Under Armour or NBC Washington, and we've taken some time for safety first, precautions, etc. But the world slowed down. No NCAA tournament, no recruiting in the spring, no NBA combine, no NBA summer league, which is, by the way, I advise you guys next year to go to the NBA summer league. Really interesting. Adam Silver's done a great job. Back into summer recruiting, and now we're planning. I'm hoping NBC Washington, because we have the Wizards and Bradley Beal. Will we play? I hope we play. You got to stay safe. Michelle says hi, my wife. Staying safe, wearing the masks. We've been pretty much locked down. My first venture out, we're down in South Carolina where they're slowly opening. It's been very interesting. We just came here 2 days ago. But in other words, you have to be really cautious. But in this couple of days, all of a sudden, the Belmonts announced they're going for June. Baseball is going to try and play. We need the NBA to play because everybody wants to watch, A, the world, and B, this might be LeBron's great chance to win with all the stuff that's going on with The Last Dance. So I'm just safety first. But I'm starting to have a lot of hope, Icey, and I'm really excited for June, but I'm really optimistic about July in the sports world.
Yeah, and I was actually just getting off air, and I just saw that July 15th, there's supposed to be a bubble stadium for the NBA. So obviously everything's just up in the air, and it goes here one day, there the next day. We have like a few calls into the commissioner's office, baseball-wise, and I'm planning for July 4th. If not, I am going to be a shell of myself because without Yankees baseball, I am literally nothing. I'll admit it. So,
and you have a great chance to win it this year. You have a chance to win it this year.
No, I know. And we had that rat, Alex Bregman, last year who, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting here just waiting for Yankees baseball. And, thank God we have you on that. And you know what? I did want to mention one thing because I was walking by. We were at Loyola. I was walking by one day. Just walking, and I had a Godfather shirt on. It said El Padrino, and you went, I love that shirt. And I always used to go to the games and see you go nuts, and that's just the Italian in you, and I understand it because I got a whole lot of that in me too.
Anytime I saw the Godfather, first thing, this is the business we have chosen. It's just like in basketball. It's not always perfect, but you're lucky to be in it. It's exciting business, but be careful. Don't swim with the fishes, et cetera. You got to maneuver that stuff, but the Yankees, I want to, jump in real quick. I knew Cashman. I went to baseball camp, Ted Williams camp with Brian Cashman when I was 14. Then I saw him at Catholic U, of course, when I'm 19. He played baseball, I played basketball. But we have stayed in close contact. And I really felt bad because I was around Cash the last couple of years, went to playoff games when heartbreaking things happened. You wonder how much was it cheating? I don't want to get into that. It's not my call. But when you see that happen to your friend, who had a great chance to win it all. I saw them beat Cleveland, the 2 years before I went down to Yankee Stadium. And all of a sudden, I really want to see them play because, James, I think they could really win it this year with Garrett Cole. Now all of a sudden, Hicks is healthy, Judge is healthy, Stanton's even going to be healthy. How long that lasts, I hope for a while. We'll see. But they have a great chance. And if 82 games, I don't mind if it's an 82-game season. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. What does it matter? At the end of the day, winning the division in a long season, the world basically just shifted. There's 5-6 teams that were going to make the playoffs no matter what. There might be 2 or 3 that don't because of it. But if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, that's on them this year in 82 games. They have the best starting pitching in baseball. I mean, I was a guy, I went viral. I was on, the Post and the New York Times and everything, the Yankee fan that stood up and went crazy in October. So I would have been on the float last October if everything had gone right. So I'm just as angry as Brian Cashman, maybe not as angry as Brian Cashman, but I'm a lunatic. So I'm just sitting back here what did we do to deserve this? And Manfred, we love Manfred here because he's a hometown guy, but at the end of the day, the Red Sox, nothing happened to them. Alex Cora might be suspended 1 game. So it's all up in the air right now. And we talked about last segment, July 4th is going to be the day because I'm going to remain calm till July 4th. July 5th, all bets are off.
Icey, what's your thoughts over there in the Yanks?
I actually wanted to get your opinion on something. Where do you think the game should be played? Do you think it should be split between Florida and Arizona, or do you think everyone should be in one central location? I think it's easier for the NBA to get everyone down in Orlando, maybe at the Wide World of Sports. But if you were this, you've always had the big picture ideas from as long as I've known you. What would you do if you were Commissioner Manfred right now?
Well, look, you got to go safety first. I'm not a doctor, clearly. You got to listen to the doctors where we're at. I just want to see games be played. I think the NBA playing in Orlando, and if you've been to the wide world of sports, it's going to be sort of AAU style.
Yeah.
The summer league in the NBA is a great model, but there's one game at 12, one at 12:30. It's a connected facility. The NBA, they have to play a lot of games. They have to get to 70 games, Icey. These are for regional contracts. Most teams have played before 64 and 67. Go to Orlando, keep the players safe. If they get tested positive, you quarantine them for a few days, 3, 4, 5 days, let them come back, work it through their system, and then play the playoffs. I want 3 out of 5, 2 out of 3 to 3 out of 5, even if it's the finals. But I want to see LeBron and Anthony Davis play. I want to see Giannis Antetokounmpo play. Actually, the Celtics could come out of this well. If they expand the playoffs like hockey, that would be different. I don't think they'll do that in the NBA. But they should just play in a really controlled environment. It's really up close touching game. Be really careful. But try to play a shortened season from, say, late July through August. I also like the NBA's advantage of, if this happens, then they can start in Christmas, because I want to see them move. I like the Christmas beginning, and I know Adam Silver does as well. I've heard him say, start in Christmas and you're done at the end of July. You own June and July. Baseball, those are big stadiums, Icey. If they allow 10,000 people out of 47,000 into the Yankee Stadium, or 20,000, that's clearly a doctor's, and that's down the road. Would I start in Florida? Sure. Florida, Arizona, start there. That means you're getting rid of the DH. Okay. I'm glad. I don't want pitchers hitting anymore. They get hurt. It's too different. One guy can hit. The guy in the Angels can hit. No one else can hit. I want to see go to Florida, go to Arizona, but slowly come back pretty quick. I'd like to see him in August and September in Yankee Stadium. And if it's 1/3 of the crowd, or maybe 50%, that's still revenue, but we still get to see him. Hey, I don't have to go to 7 games, but I want to go to 1 game, because I usually go to 2 or 3 games here. I'm lucky I get to go in the stands, and sometimes I go to Cashman's box, but I'm really interested to see who can adjust, get ready quick, what's your seating after 82 games, and then play, October baseball, because playoff baseball is really good. But I do, want to see what the sports plan is. But if I don't have to have fans, I'll still take it, Icey. That's my big – if I have to play in Orlando, or we have to play in Arizona in Florida, and there's no real National League America, I can live with all that for this. Anything's up, but I want to see him play. Safety first, but I want to see him play.
It looks like Vera Beach, Florida, Jackie Robinson Stadium is a location that they're looking at right now. But I want to ask you something, because everybody on the team now calls me coach. We got like 20 of us on the Sports Chill, and I need some techniques. I need some coaching techniques, because we got a lot of divas on our team. We got a lot of people who've been here for a couple months that think that they're, ungodly. We have people all over the place. Girls, guys.
Hey, it's 2020. More patience.
More patience. That's what I'm saying. Everybody wants the quick fix right away. But as it goes for managing players in 2020, what is it like?
I would be so look, going to Maryland was great. I was a high school coach for 2 years. I coached this guy Lawrence Moten. I went to Syracuse. Charlie Harrison went to Wake Forest. 13 years at Maryland, 2 Final Fours. We won the national title. Loyola, we got him to the NCAA. Siena, I'm in the finals against Iona. We lose in overtime of the MAC to go, and we win the CBI, beating Penn State and Fresno State, etc. So having success there. But my last 2 years, I didn't adjust well enough. Taking 2 years off, James, going around seeing Chris Beard from Texas Tech, John Calipari, Tom Izzo. These aren't all just Under Armour schools. But Mike Bray, Nick Cronin, who transitioned to UCLA, Bruce Pearl's done an amazing job. Bruce Pearl. Kids today, you have to keep it fun. You have to understand. You can't just tell them to run through a wall. There's times I would not yell as much. You have to be more positive. But you have to understand, these kids, they're not kids, they're young men. They're looking to play quicker than ever to get to the next level to get paid. It's sort of a business. It's still college basketball, but it's more of a business, and the G League thing is only going to turn that into a little, and that's okay. Because in the pros, I've learned no throwing Gatorade anymore, Icey. No doing all that. Yeah, we might have gone out the night before, so I probably needed the Gatorade more than the players. I'm like, that's my Gatorade. I was out all night. That was a little different era. But now you have to, Icey, tell guys how I'm going to make you better while I'm trying to make the team better. But you got to have it fun. But you got to the guys have to really know that you're in it to try to win, to help them get better also. Before it was what's best for the team. I'm a Billy Martin guy. What's Billy Martin's favorite line? I wasn't the greatest player to wear the uniform, but nobody wore it with more pride, right? Love Billy Martin, right? And he managed that way. Fiery. It's about the Yankees and we have to win and all this. Now it's about getting guys individually where they want to go, but also having the team goal and understanding guys are not just going to run through a wall for you. But today's generation, they're really smart. And if you explain it to them the right way and teach them the right way, and they buy into what you're thinking and you understand what they want, you can still accomplish a lot. I've learned that over the 2 years. I would be a much different coach today than I would have Icey. We had fun, but 2008, 9, 10, 11, we were ripping and running, brother. Those days, that's over. Those days were over.
And by the way, I was at when you guys made it to the tournament, I was up there in Albany with you guys, partying in that room with you guys like a maniac, screaming in the fans like an absolute maniac. I may have not been there that semester at Loyola for other reasons, but I was still at that game.
Part of your journey. It was part of your growth, James.
Exactly. It was all part of the growth.
There was honestly no better time in my life than those runs we made. And you mentioned something earlier, Jimmy, about the G League, how things are changing. Some of the top prospects are going straight to the G League. They're able to offer them more money. They're playing less games. And, some people see it as somewhat of ducking out, whether, they don't want to put themselves against the college, competition and play, the 30 televised games, and they'd rather play just 12 games and kind of go off of, what they have, the product that they put out in high school, so that their draft stock is better that way. What do you think about that? Do you think that this is going to be an issue, or do you think, the G League is the way to go? Or, as a former college basketball coach, obviously you work with the NBA too. What are your thoughts on that?
No, great question. Look, I love college. I mean, you should get your degree. I don't care if you're playing Division III like I did. I'm with my teammate, Charlie Thompson. I'm with him right now. We had a bond 35 years ago that's still carrying us, being Division III basketball players. In other words, that's one thing, getting your degree, getting your education, playing in the MAC, playing in the Patriot League. But now playing at the higher level, the thing that I don't like about the G League thing I see is, look, Jalen Green's getting $500,000 and he's going to try to sign a shoe contract. But he is not. In other words, James, this is how the G League's working. You're going to Tampa with the Yankees, and when they all go to single A, triple A, and all that, you're going to stay in Tampa and just develop. They're not actually playing this year in the G League. Those guys are just playing exhibitions, and they're going to stay in a camp, which I like IMG type situation for better. So Todd, who left Michigan, Deshaun Nix, who's going to get $300,000 is my understanding, and Green's the big winner at $500,000, are going to go hide for a year. Not hide, I don't mean that in a bad way, but they're going to wait for the draft. But they're not playing in the G League 60 games, which that is going to come, Icey, next. Mm-hmm. That's coming. My fear for these young men is, A, you learn a lot being in college for a year, just growing up, meeting new people, let alone being at Kentucky or Notre Dame or South Carolina, Auburn, Texas Tech, UCLA, wherever you want to go. You learn a whole different system of coaching. You learn how to prep for games while being on the road. You learn how to act on a charter, so it's not your first time when you're in the NBA. You don't get the first seat. The coaches do, and then the veterans. You learn how to deal with timeouts. You adjust to in-game strategies. But the most important thing is marketing. They are leaving marketing dollars. Nobody watches the G League and says, oh, I'm going to buy a pair of shoes because that dude in the G League was sporting them. Are you crazy? Zion Williamson proved that you should go to school, A, to have a great time, which he did. I covered them that year. I did 5 games. But also, look at your marketing numbers, whether it's with Adidas, Nike, Puma, or Under Armour that we, love.
Yeah.
These are marketing opportunities for you in front of Dukes or Carolinas or Notre Dame and Texas Tech is an unbelievable program down in West Texas. They own it. Those marketing opportunities and the relationships you build, it's 1 year. I really think Deshaun Nix made a huge mistake. Jalen Green has a big market following. He's going to be the 1, 2, and 3. He's really tall point guard. We'll see. LaMelo Ball. Nobody watched him last year. I wouldn't give LaMelo Ball money to do my sneakers because where was he? But Zion and those guys and what they created, and I was interested to see who emerged. Obi Toppin, who's, by the way, right up from you guys in Austin.
Westchester guy, yep.
Yeah, I talked to him when he was 6'4". He was 6'8". He didn't return my phone call.
Oh, God.
But the marketing thing, Icey, and since you guys are marketing guys, like their league, college basketball and March Madness is irreplaceable. And you can really change your life and you learn a lot. But it's money. If they want to make money, go to college for a year, play really well, and then you're part of the lore and you'll still get paid more.
Do you think the kids in college, I mean, like, obviously you think the kids in college should get paid or no? No?
Nah, it's a tough one for me because they're kind of getting paid, James. In other words, you're getting a full ride, everything's paid for you. You get your Pell Grant. They also get a cost of living attendance of $3 or $4 grand. Do I think you should be able to sell your likeness and image? I like that.
Okay.
Point guard, and if Icey Chevrolet down in Tarrytown wants to give you a car while you play point guard for St. John's University, that's okay in my mind. Now that doesn't mean it's fair, but it's a fair market value. I don't mind that. Now, can they cap it? I'm not smart enough to figure that out. Sonny Vaccaro has been pushing this stuff forever. But I'm just talking about the really, really, really good players. Even playing 1 year, it's great for your experience. Become a better basketball player. You learn how to operate in high-pressure situations, but you also become a household name. Like, I'm hesitant to give guys money that I haven't seen play. It hasn't worked for certain guys that went right from high school to the pros that didn't make it. But at the end of the day, we know where John Wall went because I'm a Wizards guy. He went to Kentucky. I'm in Florida. People say, oh, what do you do? I say, I work for the Wizards and NBC Washington. Oh, Bradley Beal. I'm a Gator. He was great. How you doing? Because that's where Bradley Beal's from. Went to Florida, even though he's from St. Louis. These things are all connected. And I think the G League, while it's a nice place to develop, it's not gonna build them that kind of stuff, those kind of opportunities.
No, I'm in complete agreement with you. Zion Williamson made the NCAA so many dollars, and I agree with you. It should be on likeness. Like down in Durham, if Zion wanted to have a sandwich shop and whatever, the whole entire city wanted to be behind him, I'm for that. And that's really where I get to the point. It's like, listen, the NCAA is putting you on. They're doing all that stuff for you. They're giving you this entire brand to build on. But, like, if you can build on your own somewhere else as well, then that's where I'm for it.
Yeah, take the money. If McDonald's wants to give Zion money in January, go for it.
Right. Precisely.
Then that's a very few people that are going to get that.
Yeah.
But if you tried to pay everybody, including women's soccer players, men's soccer players, who all deserve it. I love Title IX. I'm with someone right now that played Division I soccer. It's a great opportunity. She got a great education out of it. That's fine. If you try to pay all the athletes, you'll bankrupt the system, and then it doesn't work for anybody. And I'm not a big fan of that because I want to see more opportunities for more kids to play and get their education. But what we're talking about, the G League, this is a select few. What I don't want to see happen, is the kid that really isn't ready to go to the G League but thinks he can go to the G League. And you and I know, because God loved Gerald Brown. Loyola did such a great job with Gerald Brown. All the players, Juwan Wright, everybody came out to support him. Gerald Brown passed away. In Summer League, he was considered as good as Gilbert Arenas, but he really wasn't. And so he may have not gotten his degree and instead chosen to go to the G League. You got to be careful because then you miss an opportunity. I worry about that 90%. 10% will be fine. That 90% that aren't going to really make it, and it's hard to make it. Hey, look at the Knicks roster up close, and they're not very good. I know they're going to do good things under Leon Rose. You guys are Knicks guys.
Yeah.
But, like, it's hard to make that team. Dennis Smith wasn't an automatic lottery pick. A lot of guys have fought their way up through the G League. Alfred Payton went to some small school in Louisiana. You know, Julius Randle, okay, he went to Kentucky. Mitchell Robinson didn't even go to school. There's a lot of ways that you're going to make it. In other words, it's not guaranteed, oh, I'm a good basketball player and I'm going to make it. There's all these paths and road mines and all that. And I think college just preps you a little better, even if it's only 6 months. You know, it's only
that's the whole thing. They're like, it's 6 months. That is the point. That is the major point. In 6 months, you're gonna market yourself even better than you would at the G League level. That's why I agree that it's not going to work at all. It's just really, really. Just
you guys have you either one of you been to a Westchester Knicks game?
Yes, I have one time.
One time.
Well, it was just because Jimmer was playing,
Yeah.
and I heard Mayweather was there because Mayweather was hitting him with bills at half court, so I had to go to it. But
You gone to one?
I've strictly gone to Knicks games, to be honest. I
yeah,
haven't gone to
okay, so I went to the Knicks game with. I want your thoughts on Leon Rose, but I went to the Knicks game with Icey, and I'm sitting there and I'm standing. I'm the only one standing up in the entire thing. I look like a moron because I'm standing up trying to clap, and the rest of the people are sitting there eating their popcorn, doing nothing.
But the Knicks fans do go. What crowds, even for all those bad teams.
Crazy.
Leon Rose, total win. I think it's not that it's going to work. I'm not a soothsayer or anything, but I like the opportunity they've given him. I like that he's kind of not talked a lot, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The old days were all brash and trying to get out there. New York basketball with Leon Rose is going to be more interesting. I just love what the kids did at Seton Hall. I really liked him, you know, Miles Powell. You got a new coach at St. John's. Patino's going to be really, really interesting in the area.
I
think Leon Rose is the right guy to steadily get New York. There's no quick fix, but they got a lot of cap room. But if he knows the players and can get one great, it just takes one great player to make you really have a chance. Two, and you have a chance to win the title. And he's going to get someone to come to play for the Knicks, in my opinion. He has a great reputation, Leon Rose.
Sure. Patino. He's
Love him. Happy
supposedly
for him.
coming back. He might get the 20 game suspension at the beginning of the season. But let's just say it gets a little bit further down the line. Is Jimmy Patsos ready for that Iona call?
No, I'm not. Look, I'm happy what I'm doing. I take some breaks. I'm happy. Rick Pitino's a good guy. And he should, hey, they want to suspend him a few games. Don't suspend him to half. The NCAA does a lot of good things, but they have some interesting views on things.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick served his time. He's the first one to tell you that he made mistakes. I don't speak for him, but I text with him. He's a great coach. He's a great teacher. His players have done extremely well in life, in business, in coaching, besides going to the NBA. But I think it's going to be great for the New York area. All right, 5 games is enough. 5-game suspension's enough. I don't think they should suspend him at all. But if he gets 5 games, let him go coach the kids. But he's going to be great. When him and Masiello go at it, like I'm going. Loyola's playing up there. You know that.
I know that.
Right?
That just came out. I'm excited.
I already rented the Beachmont. Everything's on me. Baby.
Let's go.
My buddy owns the Beachmont, so we'll be good.
No way. I love that. So you have fun. George King from the New York Post is already excited. He's going to go with us. I still buy the Post every day. He's good for basketball. I think Leon Rose is going to bring some excitement to the Knicks, but he's going to bring James some stability. Look, I have nothing against the old Knicks regime. I don't know James Dolan. I'm a college coach who covers the Wizards. But at some point, you got to say, let's take a real shot. And I think that's what the Leon Rose hire did. I'm excited to see it, you know? Look, he looks like Cashman. They're both – look, they didn't hire Brad Pitt, and that's okay. Because Brad Pitt's an actor. He's not a friggin' GM or an agent. Like Leon Rose, if he can do a really solid job, good for him.
Yeah, I just, you know, I have the video game. I'm on the New York Knicks. I made the creative player. I can't win for crap with them. Then Icey, but I'm not going to sit here and Icey runs the Knicks chill for us, chill Knicks. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, come on. Like, if anybody's going to be a good luck charm for the New York Knicks, it's Brian McCarthy.
We're so close with everything besides the actual winning. Like the crowd is there, the energy is there. We can, you know, have 10 wins, 60 games into the season. The place is still going to be packed. People are still going to be cheering down the stretch, and the buzz is still there. So we need one superstar, like you said. Sign one guy, see if we can roll with it, and maybe sign somebody else, and then start to make a push in the Eastern Conference.
I just think
I was at the Cleveland game when Spike Lee left, when they had the halftime meeting. Remember when they got booed off? Yeah. Sold out against the Cavs. It was unbelievable on a Sunday. You know, but that's, in other words, I'm jealous as a Washington. The Wizards are trying, and Wall's going to be interesting. He's going to be good coming back. But you guys get sold out crowds. You do have everything I see. Now, where the draft goes, I want to see R.J. Barrett. It was interesting. He said that he wants to be like Michael Jordan. I admire that. Someone might want to tell him that Michael Jordan got Defensive Player of the Year because R.J. Barrett hasn't played defense yet in his whole life, ever. So he might want to start with that before he says, I'm like Michael Jordan, who played on the defensive end. But I like R.J. Barrett. And, I think the Knicks are going to be – but here's the thing. Let me ask you this, James. Isn't it important for the league that the Knicks are sort of good?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is. And that's what, it kills me. That's why it's the whole, LeBron talking crap about Phil 3 years ago was honestly like the players have so much power. And I'm a huge owners have the power guy because I don't cry. I don't cry over crybaby millionaires. I don't have any time for that. I don't have any money. It doesn't matter. They have millions of dollars. We have Blake Snell saying that he's not going to play baseball.
His agent.
I want Blake Snell now. Get him out. We need to find him because I need to talk to him. We had Lou Gehrig go to war. We had Pat Tillman die for this country. And we have this whiner who's like, I'm not going to take 60% of the money. Grow up, Peter Pan.
Basketball's done a good job with that. Baseball's done an interesting job of, I don't know what their message is, but it didn't sound great to me. I'm sure they're going to try to retract, especially coming off the scandal. And back to the Yankees thing, my whole thing was everybody does a little bit, the trash can. But if Altuve knew that breaking ball was coming from Chapman, like that's unfair cheating. And that, because I was in Seattle for the Ravens trip. The Ravens were playing Seattle. And I remember sitting at the restaurant bar lounge area, and watching that get hit and saying, wow, it was like he knew it was coming. That's the end of the Yankee series. Baseball's got that combined with a really bad answer during this pandemic, which is really serious.
Best thing that ever happened to them.
I'm surprised they gave that answer, but I haven't heard. But I was saying the NBA, I think the NBA is going to try to play to crown a champion, but I think they're kind of doing it like, we're with the people. We want everyone to know that we feel you at home and we want to give you something to watch. If there's no fans and we're safety in Orlando, but play it down. Let's do it AAU style. 2 out of 3 is fine. I want to see it happen.
People feel so close to NBA players. Obviously there's less players. You're so much closer, recognizing up close. And that's why so many people are gravitating, especially towards this season, because of the storyline with LeBron. And let's be real, LeBron runs the NBA right now. He's just as powerful as Adam Silver. I think he's more powerful. And I think the whole storyline, obviously, RIP Kobe, it's a super sad situation. But the storyline of the Lakers coming back, LeBron bringing a title to LA, I think that's too much for them to pass up. And I think they are willing to risk something there, to make sure that those games are played. It's almost like a reality show, the NBA. It's more than just a league.
It is when you watch it up close. And I thought that way until the last 2 years. They do really compete and they do execute in a much more – I used to think, hey, it's the fourth quarter. No, they're executing and playing. But when LeBron has a chance with Anthony Davis, they have Dwight Howard. They got a very interesting team over there. Dwight Howard's doing his perfect Rodman imitation, which is what he should be doing, right? He's not the man. But I think it would be a compelling story to see this year's NBA Finals. Watch out for Harden and them when they're rested. I'll tell you who was playing well was actually the Thunder with Chris Paul, who may end up with you guys. And I like him for the Knicks. Not at that number, though.
That's crazy.
But it's going to be just interesting to see. The Jazz were as good a team I saw this year. They had won 9 in a row when I did the Jazz. I saw Kawhi Leonard and his big hands up close, this year for the Clippers. We have a really good team. The Denver Nuggets were who I thought would win it going into the season. We had to do a pick. Yeah, I had the Bucks and them. Now I think it could be whether, the Sixers get it together and Antetokounmpo, they're going to back off him and dare him to shoot. But wouldn't it be amazing if it was the Celtics-Lakers finals this year? Because it could be. It could be because the Celtics are getting healthy. Kemba Walker in short spurts is good. He runs out of 6'2" Mount Vernon kid, right?
Yeah.
But would it be amazing if it was LeBron, if Celtics-Lakers this year, short season, what would the ratings be? And that will solidify LeBron's greatness if he can win it the next 2 years. And this is a year before he comes to you guys for his last 2 years. I heard he's coming to the Knicks. That's his last 2 years. But
so Jim, my mom is from.
I want to see that play out.
My mom is from Massachusetts, and my cousins are all from Massachusetts, and they've been destroying my life the past 15 years.
Where are they from up there? Where are they from?
From Haverhill,
Massachusetts.
So there will be no more Boston winning. It's Boston down from now on. I don't care. All of them, they're going to crumble. It just has to happen.
I'm only a Celtics fan. I'm a Ravens guy, Yankees guy, Washington Capitals. So, but I knew Red Auerbach from a long way back, and I grew up around the Bird, Dennis Jones. Dennis Johnson, McHale, that was a great team. 86 Celtics, I got the second best team in history when they had Burt Wickers had Bill Walton. I love the Magic Johnson Lakers teams. Jordan was just his own guy. He was just so good. But this would be this LeBron thing to see where he can rise up. This is such a great opportunity for LeBron to prove it wasn't the big three. I got over the Heat hump in Cleveland. This would put him in the next level if he can get a championship the next 2 or 3 years. And I think it'd be compelling TV to see him even this summer.
He's going to get 2. He's going to get 2 in 3 years. Definitely.
If he gets 2 in 3 years, he may overtake Jordan as the greatest.
I think it's going to happen. Once Kobe went, like, that was honestly, they should, even if they don't play, they should just hand him the championship. Like,
that doesn't work that way. Ask the Bucks when they backed off Antetokounmpo and he couldn't.
Don't hand the Boston Celtics any championship, because I can't handle that anymore. Any more Boston winning, I'm going to the Cromwell Bridge.
I think
this
this is
the other sports for a while. I think you could become a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan.
Yeah, right.
I see what else we got on the topic list. What's going on?
I was about to say before we get to the next topic, I really think this is when Tatum can really jump out on the national stage. Basketball fans, they know about Tatum, they know about his talent, but he's not the celebrity that the rest of the stars are, and I think we're getting very close to that with Tatum.
Yeah, I think Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, Gordon Hayward, who they say they might trade in the offseason, but they'll be an interesting team. They got enough pieces. Marcus Smart. But my point is this. I don't think they could make a 2-month run. That's my thing, James. Like, LeBron's going to win kind of no matter what. Now, Kawhi Leonard's going to have a lot to say about that. That guy's tough. They got a nice team. But the Celtics are built to win quick series. Like, Kemba Walker for 3 and 4 weeks is tremendous. Remember, the playoffs is 2 months, 7-game series, banging, hitting. And that's the thing about Jordan they don't talk about. The punishment, Jordan, no, they showed it. But what the Pistons and these teams were doing to him and really knocking him down. These guys today wouldn't put up with it. But I think the Celtics are my little dark horse just because they can play well for 3 or 4 weeks. I don't think they can play well for 2 months to get to that level. Antetokounmpo was at a whole nother level. But he didn't play when I saw him in Washington. They still won in overtime, and that guy Middleton had like 50. So they're an interesting team. But realistically, Bucks versus the Lakers, and Kareem can throw up the ball. So for you young guys, since he played with both the Lakers and the Bucks and won it with the Bucks.
Facts only.
We over here at the sports show, we really like to pride ourselves on getting our viewers like the inside look and the stuff that we don't see on television. And I mean, no one could explain this better to you. When it comes to college recruiting, and when you were at Maryland and you're getting the top guys in the country, what's going on with that conversation? When you're getting in the living room, what's going on? And what are the angles you try to play? And what are you really selling them? Are you selling them on the school? Are you selling them on the future? Are you selling it to the parents? Are you selling to them?
That's a good question. You got to build relationships with guys. But remember, I worked for Gary Williams, who in a world full of gray area, or some guys did some different things. What's going on in college basketball with the FBI stuff? None of my business. I never lived that. Yeah. I've had my own issues at times with the NCAA, et cetera. We've all done different things, but never have I had a recruiting violation or any of that kind of stuff or academic stuff, any of that. That's a whole ballgame. I don't know that world, Icey. I honestly didn't live in it. But there were certain schools when I went out and recruit, and I saw them in the gym, and I said, do you know where the diner is? Because this is not going to happen. We're not going to get certain guys.
Yeah.
Certain players are going to go to certain places. But what was interesting was recruiting at Maryland is the 5 greatest programs in the history of college basketball are UCLA, coming west to east, UCLA, Kansas, Kentucky, Carolina, Duke. The next wave is down with the Syracuse. But it's proven history. Those are the top 5. We were the only team, Maryland, that had 2 of them in your league. In other words, Kansas was in the Big 12. Yeah, Kentucky was in the SEC. There was nobody cared in the Pac-12 all the years, the UCLA. UCLA had a free run to the Final Four. That's okay. They were still tremendous. I love John Wooden. Had lunch with him. He tricked me. I went to have lunch with John Wooden, and he was messing with the garage door opener. He was above me on the balcony to see if I could get in. Then he was closing it. Funny guy, John Wooden. We talked about poetry, the Visivas, which is a window washer poem. We talked about other sports. He was going to the women's volleyball game that day. What an interesting guy. We had lunch. It was like tuna fish sandwiches. Me, John Wooden, and one other guy. And we talked very little about basketball. Then at the end, he talked about, I know you like to press because you work for Gary Williams. He had done his homework.
55.
55, love it, 55. But you look back, those are 5 of the best teams, and we had 2 of them in Maryland. If a kid wanted to go to Carolina and Duke, I didn't waste a lot of time trying to recruit against him. Build relationships with the parent, find out who the other person was who was going to be in. I was a big high school coach guy. AAU was smaller then. As it grew, I adapted with AAU, but I wanted to go after kids as high school coaches because they were with them all day, and they saw what the kid was really right. Because playing for Gary Williams, you're going to get better, you're going to play fast-paced, but you're going to be coached, and you're definitely not in charge when you play for Gary Williams. So you have to get certain kids that fit that. Duke never took one and dones back when I was recruiting against them. Remember, they had my first 2 years in the ACC, Duke won it and Carolina won it. They had Montrose and Donald Williams, and then, of course, it was Leitner and Hurley. So that set the stage. You had to get – but this is where people get things messed up. You had to beat Florida State, Clemson, Virginia, Wake Forest. The ACC only had 9 teams. It had NC State, Wake Forest, Clemson, Virginia, Wake, Florida State, Georgia Tech with Bobby Cremins. You better try to get to the middle of that. So I recruited guys that I could get where I could beat Georgia Tech out for a guy or Virginia. But I never went head-to-head with Carolina and Duke because they were just too strong, too powerful, too much to sell. And then my thing was you're going to get better. And we kind of wanted guys that had the same edge we had. Like I'm a Division III player. I'm not like, Bobby Hurley was or Steve Wojciechowski's the assistant at Duke. He played at Duke, I played at Catholic U. Gary was at Maryland, he wasn't a blue blooder. He was a grinding kind of started his last couple of years at Maryland, but we kind of nothing was handed to us. So we kind of got kids like that wanted to get better. Under the radar, Steve Francis, Walt Williams had turned into a point guard. Joe Smith, no one knew about, turned #1 pick. Keith Booth, undersized forward. LaRon Prophet, nobody recruited. Obina Casey came here from Nigeria to study petroleum engineering at Maryland. That's why he picked Maryland. His father was a petroleum engineer. Then you get the Blake Dixon, Wilcox. But we wanted those type of guys that fit what we wanted to do, Icey. You got to know what your target is. Guys that fit what we want to do, but have a big upside, that want to be talented, but you got to be tough because you got to try to win. And there's none of this like, oh, we had a good year. No, you need to go to the NCAA. You get fired in the ACC. Then you got to win to get to the next weekend. See, the NCAA is about making it, then getting to the next weekend, then getting to the Final Four. But recruiting-wise, it was great to learn from Bobby Cremins and Jeff Jones of Virginia and Dave Odom, who got Tim Duncan that was there, by the way, one of the great players that nobody talks about. He's got 5 titles and totally can control the game from the center position. And he's too good of a person for us to talk about him because he's kind of a quiet, normal, understated guy in San Antonio. He's not flashy. There's nothing wrong with being flashy, but Tim Duncan's probably the most understated, normal person with very low profile that's won that much. And there's not going to be any 30 for 30s on him. He was a freshman at Wake when I got in the league with Joe Smith. You had to get better. You had to compete and get better. And nobody left really that early. Joe Smith left after 2 years. But you got to get guys that fit you, the staff that fits you, then get in with the parents, get in with the high school coach. And then there was usually one outsider that you could find, a cousin or uncle. Drew Nicholas, big shots for us. His brother played at Colgate for Jack Bruin, who I played for. I did a lot of that kind of stuff, Icey. But I did a lot of background checks.
Yeah.
I need a background check on me, so I better do them on the players.
Listen, I mean, that's what I do when I recruit people to come on the team. I mean, at first we were just ragtag 2015, get what we can get. Now we have 64 applications to join the Yankees team, So now we're building a program ourselves, and we have guys like Justin who's ready to produce like this. Where I'm trying to run it like
first one on tonight.
Yeah, exactly. First one on, and I'm trying to be like we call Joe Judge Baby Coughlin, because you need to have that New York in your face attitude. You need to be able to be talked to be able to get up from it, brush your shoulders off, and continue to move. Because we're running a fast-paced offense now.
I see. Who taught us that? Lauren Bacall, who lived in the Dakota, said, I took the bus in New York when I was a kid. Lauren Bacall lived in the Dakota, very famous lady, very wealthy actress. I was taught to be tough from day one of my life in New York, but to also be fair but firm. And you guys working in the Yankees organization, you better be tough but you got to go the next day. Do you know George King? You know George King at all? From the New York Post?
No.
I'll say George King's the best. He used to cover the Phillies. His two passions are college basketball and baseball. He covered the Phillies for 12 years and the Yankees for the last 20. You got to get with him.
Oh, yeah, we will. We will. I mean, listen, again, we could have had a lot of people. I told them, I said, Jimmy Patsos is the guy. I mean.
And with that, I bid you adieu. Icey, I got crews coming in here. We got to go. So we want NBA, the NHL. I'd like to see 24 teams. Your Rangers would make the tournament right now. See, I think each league has to look at itself and not be cookie cutter and say, maybe we'll have a few fans, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll play in 24 teams. Maybe the NBA just has a short season because they're like Icey said, the NFL and the Power 5 football, that's going to be different because that's later down the road. I think everybody's got to have their own idea of what's going on. But you're coming to Cashman's box with me when the Yankees play in Yankee Stadium, James.
I would love to. I appreciate the hell out of you for coming on. And we're going to send you a hoodie. We got to send you some merch for coming on, being the first guest.
Merch too.
100%. 100%. So, Icey, you could take it from here. And thank you so much for coming on. Icey, any final words?
Jimmy, thanks for coming on. One important thing that I just wanted to say about Jimmy that people probably don't realize.
All right, be careful.
I was a student manager for Jimmy, for 4 years, and the inclusion that he had for me was amazing. If I messed up, he held me accountable just as the players did, and I think that ultimately made me feel like more part of the team and just take more pride in what I was doing. And I didn't understand it at the time, but I understand it now, Jimmy. It's made me tougher, and I appreciate it.
I see you doing great in your career. How many followers you got now, Icey?
Nah, we got a couple thousand, but we're building.
It's not about the
How many you got? I saw you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Icey. I mean, the managers were my favorite part, especially when we had to watch. Remember, we used to watch the Road Warrior in snowstorms.
Of course.
Kick Manhattan's ass.
Yep.
Make sure you have fun with your journey because when you look back, it's the people you meet, the people you build with. You got to win, though, but make sure you have fun. And it's the people, it's everyone that even puts a little bit in is part of the machine. Have a great journey, Icey. Love you.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Later. All right. Now, coming up next, a portion of the show that our producer does not know about. It's producer prying. Coach, let's get to know our producer, Justin.
Wow. All right, we are bringing in our producer, Justin. Justin was on So You Think You Can Chant. He was one of the top 12 finalists. We brought him on during quarantine. Absolute stud, helped us with the sportsshow.com Fire. And he was actually in that room. His fire alarm was going off, and he told me his Nick Swisher was his favorite Yankee of all time. So I knew he was the one that was going to help us get to the next level. Justin, how are you today?
Great, my guy. How you doing, James?
Good. So I'm going to swing this over to Icey, and he's going to tell you exactly what we're doing right now.
All right.
So, obviously, for all these episodes, you're going to hear me rambling. You're definitely going to hear the coach rambling. But we got to make sure we know who's behind the scenes, who's cutting this footage, who's producing it. So we want the viewers to get to know you. So we're going to ask you a couple quick questions and, see who you are. So, Justin, pet peeve. Pet peeve, what gets you?
Oh, God. I don't know. I hate when people chew and, breathe at the same time. That shit's the worst. That and canceling plans, man. I hate both of those. But it's hard to pick in between.
All right, I'm gonna give you a layup here. What is your favorite color? Color.
Red. 100%. Yeah. Red.
Okay.
He's red. He sees red and he just goes.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
First crush.
Are we talking celebrity?
So right now, we don't know. Your crush might be watching this right now, maybe from middle school, high school.
All right, listen, we got to be careful about this one.
Anybody.
But we got to be semi-careful about this. I'm gonna go celebrity. We're gonna go celebrity because I got to be careful about that.
Smart man.
You don't know who could be watching this at any time. So, I mean, Megan Fox in Transformers, man. First Transformers. I was 8 years old, 10 years old.
Yeah, I remember back in 2012, she was on all of those covers. It was actually like 2010, 2011. Those magazines with her on the front. If I know that it's digital now. It's 2020, but back in the day, that stuff really got me really fired up for some
her.
Transformers.
I could kind of take that back. It's either her or Mindy from Drake and Josh's girlfriend, or Zoe from Zoe 101.
All right.
Just throwbacks.
Serious throwbacks. All right.
100%.
This is my holy grail of questions. And it could get pretty confrontational. We're gonna do marry, bone, ignore, Kim, Kendall, Kylie.
Marry Kim, and bone Kylie, ignore Kendall.
Wow.
Easy. Come on.
All right, and then I have another question for you. Icey, you have another one?
No, we got you end in bonus question, number 5.
All right. National treasure. Who's your national treasure? Could be anybody.
Man, you had to hit me with that one, huh?
Had to hit you with it.
Like current? Are we going current?
Somebody you look up to, somebody you love. It could be Nick Cage. It could be, I would say.
We talking Nicolas Cage, National Treasure's Book of Secret National Treasure? Because
Hey, listen.
that's doable.
I'm saying it could be George Washington. It could be Vince Lombardi. It could be Derek Jeter. Who do you look up to? And who are what's going on there? Who do you love?
Man, I mean, I got so many, but like Tony Ferguson in the UFC right now, my favorite fighter.
Shout out Fight Chill.
Yep. Fight Chill. Give it a follow at Fight Chill, Twitter and Instagram.
There we go.
Him, Aaron Judge, of course. Gotta love the guy, and Nick Swisher, obviously.
There we go. All right,
Those
love
are
it.
3.
Yeah, I just wanted to pepper you a little bit. We couldn't just sit here with layups the entire time. We have to throw you in.
Easy.
We have to throw you into the fire a little bit.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna get right into it. The top 5.
Top five.
All right, and today we're starting off with it. Talk to the Iceman. He said, Coach, we got to start with cold cuts. So we're starting with cold cuts, and this is the way we'll do it. This is how we did it on the other show, too. We throw it out a 1 or a 2. On 3, the odd man out gets the first pick, and then we get with the rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So throw out a 1 or a 2. In 3, 2, 1. All right, so Icey, you get the first pick. Justin, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Are you ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oof.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right, I won.
All right, you're third. You're second. I'm third. All right, do it up.
So I'll start us off. I think I'm at a bit of a disadvantage, not being the full Italian here. I'm only 25% Italian. Italians love cold cuts. So, luckily I got to go first. A lot of people ask me, they said, what'd you have for lunch today? I get texts all day long. I'll be quick with this. I get texts all day long. Icey, what are you having for lunch? Icey, what are you having for lunch? The first pick in the top 5 cold cut draft, taking roast beef.
Wow!
On the board.
Damn.
Oh, God.
Wow.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
Mark it down.
I mean, roast beef, top 5. I don't know about that one.
Not even close.
That's crazy.
It's top 2, but not 2. I'll tell you that.
Wow.
All right.
Honestly, I'm shocked. And honestly, I'm shocked. Go ahead, Justin.
Oof. All right, so there's so many I like, and I barely ever put this on my sandwiches. But I'm thinking of something I could sit there and just eat as a cold cut, not on a sandwich, just right out of the package from the deli and eat. I'm talking Black Bear honey ham.
Oh,
Fire.
My God.
That stuff is so fire.
All right, no doubt. Hey, listen, we have different taste buds. Talking about the roast beef, that is kind of old school Italian. You get the roast beef and the mutt, so I'm here with that. I just didn't know. That's the number 1 pick. You probably did some research on him in the early round, and you're like, I'm taking this guy no matter what. So I love and respect that. I got the swing pick, so I'm going with prosciutto, and then I'm going with gabagool right off the top. Justin, back to you. I mean, I don't know what you guys think about it, but if you're not getting a pound of gabagool every once in a blue moon, who are you,
Damn, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe just like straight up salami, Goes on everything. Everything.
What's wrong with salami?
Everything.
Salami's class. I'm gonna take it back to elementary school right here. We're going bologna. With
Oh!
Oh,
bologna. Huge
The
lock.
hot dog pancake. That's
Yeah.
the hot dog pancake. I just let it slip through my fingers. I didn't think it was going to have a chance. So go on.
Bologna, I compare it to Vince Carter. It's been consistent. It's still there. It's a locker room guy. It keeps people together. Another one, somebody that I feel like really slid in this draft. Thanksgiving, we're going turkey.
oof. I
Yeah.
could agree with that.
Yeah. That's not bad. Turkey I thought was going to be the second overall pick. So
Really slid.
yeah,
That's some character issues.
shout out to the intramural. This is a Loyola podcast too. So shout out to my intramural team, the softball squad, turkey@hotmail.com. We out here. All right, Justin, you're up to it.
All right, so I'm picking another.
Yeah?
So, all right, so just like salami, we're getting pretty basic. We're hitting the sandwiches. Pepperoni.
Damn it. That was
Thin.
mine.
Gotta be thin. It's gotta be thin.
Yes, no, it has to be.
All right. I'm going with mortadella. At this point, I'm just making an Italian combo. So, yeah, I'm going with mortadella right there. Back to you, Justin.
Back to you, Coach. You're still up.
Oh, crap. I have another pick right here. We can put, like, whatever's on a sandwich, right? I can go with something else. Like, how many possible deli meats are there?
You can go with something else if you want.
I mean, I could say, I don't have that. All right. I'm just going to go with chicken. Throw some chicken on a sandwich, right? Is that okay?
It's not bad.
Yeah, you're the boss, so I'll let it slide.
I know. Actually, I don't.
There is chicken cold cuts, but
Oh yeah, buffalo chicken.
Yeah.
Buffalo chicken.
Okay. Put it on your board.
That's a cut. That's a cut.
yep.
I really got out of there. I was kind of nervous for a second that I was going to make it out alive there. All right, Justin, you're on.
All right, I'm back. All right. So, what's a sandwich without some cheese, right? And I'm talking some nice Swiss cheese.
We'll let it go. I'll let this one slide. Not
That-
technically.
That counts as a cold cut.
You get it at the cold cut counter, so we'll count.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I kind of want to retract now right here, and I want to throw something else out if we're coming out with cheeses.
Let's hear it.
Icey's in charge of this top five, so
We're gonna let
Alright.
one cheese go, and then we're gonna keep it rolling.
yeah.
Alright.
Go ahead. Hit him with your cheese if you want now at this point.
Well, so my last two, because we're going,
Just
snake
murder us. Go ahead, just murder us. Just shoot the 3-pointer.
ham hasn't even been said yet.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah,
When? What
that was
pick?
my first pick. Wow.
Ham was picked. I had it all written down.
Yeah.
I said black bear honey ham first pick.
Black bear honey ham.
I'm talking
Same
American
thing.
ham. I'm talking American ham.
I don't. This has gone a little bit off the rails, but we're gonna let that slide as well. And you know what? We're gonna get Nick Sarge shout out Nick Sarge. We're gonna get him to Photoshop our top 5 things, and it's gonna look a little crooked. And you know what? Sometimes
be.
we're a little bit off beat. You know what I mean? So
And my last pick, though, olive loaf. If you don't know what olive loaf is, you better ask somebody.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know if I ever had it, to be honest.
Check the Google machine and then come back to me.
All
All
right.
right, I got you.
All right. And then is that 5 for you?
Yeah, so you each need one.
All right.
Oh shit.
All right. Well, I'm so happy with my entire thing now because I basically just wrapped this one up. Icey had me for a second, but I'm ready to go hard at the end.
Oof. Who goes mitten? I go?
Yeah.
Shit. Are we sticking with meats?
Well, you can't do a second cheese. What were we out here doing? No, Icey.
We talking vegetables now? What are we getting on? Type of bread?
Nah, just throw out a meat. Any kind of meat. Let's keep it moving.
Corned beef. You could have corned beef.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Corned beef. Boom.
Oh my
Corned beef.
I have it in
God.
my back pocket.
Thank you,
I have it
Icey.
in my back
With the
pocket.
save.
That's
With
Irishman,
the
right?
save.
Irishman. Yeah, see, this is a team. You know, like maybe we didn't write down 15 cold cuts, but at the end of the day, I don't need a cold cuts when I have fresh mutts. So we can sit here, we can talk about this. I could have said meatball. I could have got into really other things, but we're talking cheeses. Hit me with the mutts. I'll see you in Hoboken. I'll go see Tommy Spads. We'll go have a nice Italian combo, and everybody will keep it moving because that was top five.
Top five.
Good.
So, Coach, that's all we got for today, and I'm excited for another big one next week. And that's a wrap for the first episode of Fire and Ice. Justin, Coach, anything before we head out?
I just want to say one thing. The haters, the negativity is out there, especially going on in a pandemic like this. Just know that you guys can always reach out. I'm here for you at the Sports Chill, Icey as well, at Chill Nicks, at So Icey 20, and Justin is over at Fight Chill. Thank you guys for listening. I love you all. TheSportsChill.com. Fire, fire.